The woman, I'd probably be polygamous, and a lot of times I can switch between polyamorous and polyandry, which is a woman with more than one man. And what happens now is that you see a lot of people who are polyandry, which is one with more than one man, and their partners usually are bisexual, um, and they're usually
Oh,
poly. Yeah, it's a lot.
Damn, Perky this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
okay. Sorry. Another question. Omar Suarez is asking, are you part Latina?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
Okay. What is your nationality?
Actually, Sicilian and black for the most part.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. For sure. All right. So my next question is challenges. Have there been any challenges? And if so, what has been some of the biggest challenges that you have faced becoming becoming into the poly lifestyle?
Ah, I think the worst thing that's happened so far.
Oh
Um,
man. You know
yeah,
when somebody laugh, it may get bad.
no, I thought about it because you would think I would say that people judge me, and I actually don't care about that. It
Mhm.
really is being, if you don't have anybody to talk to or relate to, that is very low. Because if you don't, like, let's say something happens with my partners or whatever, I, as a person who started, I didn't have anyone to go to. So I didn't know that there was like groups and platforms I can go to. And then what happened was, as I was trying to figure out, like, okay, what happens if one of your partners is mad and the other one's not, or if uh, I'm sometimes taking emotions over to my other partner and they don't think that's fair. Like, what happened? What do I do? I had no one to communicate with. And if I did, it would be a monogamous reaction, which would be, okay, well, why don't you just get one or pick one? Or what do you, okay, who cares? Just pick one, pick that one or that one. It was always like choose one. Or you get people who maybe were jealous of the fact that you had that. That is very plausible. Or people who just didn't understand and didn't know how to deal with that. So there was no one to relate to me. So that kind of sucked. That was a little bit hard because it just can be lonely. And we have talked about this before. Even in the poly realm, I am still special in my own realm. Even in the poly world, I'm very strange. So that can be lonely too. I would say that.
Okay, so when you say strange, expound on that if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Okay, so most people hear about polygamy. They hear about polyamorous, which is build your own relationship, basically. And then there is polyandry, and you don't have to stay in any one of those. You can transition. It just depends on who your partners are. Usually, like if I had two, female partners, I'd probably be polyamorous. If I had, you know, if I was with a man and he had a woman, I'd probably be polygamous. And a lot of times I can switch between polyamorous and polyandry, which is a woman with more than one man. And what happens now is that you see a lot of people who are polyandry, which is one with more than one man, and their partners usually are bisexual, um, and they're usually
Oh,
poly. Yeah, it's a lot. But for me, what makes me a little different is that, uh, depending on the situation, I can be considered polyandry. I date heterosexual black men most of the time. Yeah, yeah, basically, and um, they are a lot of times monogamous. Starting, yeah. So that's not normal for someone who's in poly. Usually, they only date poly people. Really are big on just dating poly people. Um, I don't restrict myself to that, and So it just makes it a little weird. So if someone heard that, they'd be like, "Oh, and your partners aren't bisexual?" And I say no, and they're like, "Oh, that's weird. That's never worked." So even in poly, they think I'm a little bit like, "Oh, how are you doing that?" And so it's hard to relate to other people who don't have that same dynamic,
Yeah, I
or at
mean,
least successful.
well, I mean, I would say, like, I think, and I'm sure that there's like other men in the chat would think that, um, typically when a man is gets with another man, the woman is no longer like women are typically are no longer attracted to that man if that man has been intimate with another man. So you say that it's weird on your end. I think it's the latter. Because I'm saying now, because like I don't know too many women. I don't know too many women here at Vega. If you still here, I would love for you to chime in on this. Only because I just know that if a man is intimate with another man, typically women are not sexually attracted to that man in that way. Typically, I mean,
you would be surprised at how
Wow.
many women who are secretly thinking that they would rather have their partner. And then this is one of the things about polyandry that I tend to don't like is that I think that a lot of women in that position don't want to compete with other women. So if they do find a partner that actually is bisexual, when they have each other as partners, they're not competing for a woman. They have their man partner and then they have their woman partner, and they're fulfilled on the man's end, and the woman's not competing with any other women.
Yeah, I just think
there's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of them, sir. It's a whole.
I'm floored here, but I'm just saying. Hold on. Let me get my bearings here because I'm a little bit floored here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So shout out to Tim Howard in the building. Says poly is normal. Any man with another man is a red flag. See?
I didn't disagree. I'm telling you, there's a lot of women out here. Okay.
Culture evasion says no thanks. Okay. Vega responds here. And if there's any ladies that are watching, I would definitely love to hear your feedback. Okay, so Vega says, I personally would not be attracted to a man like that. Yeah, like most women, at least most women that I have come in contact with. No, okay. I define poly as swinging at swing clubs. So I guess would that be considered like lifestyle or?
So
and my man Italian Styling, thank you for the super chat, brother.
Yes. So lifestyle. If you're swinging, you're gonna go probably to a club where they're swinging. You can. This is what makes it different. You can be poly and lifestyles, and you can be poly and not lifestyles. So you got to remember that there are people who are actually poly and they're not into lifestyles. But they hang around a lot of people who are lifestylers because the idea to be with more than one person is accepted. So why would you not want to be around people who accept the same idea as you? Yeah. They're going to be okay with that idea. Now, if they are okay with your dynamics and all that, and I really want to love you, they may not want that. They may just want, hey, I just want to have a sexual relationship with you. So that is why poly and lifestylers usually tend to disagree. Is if I went to a lifestyle party right now and someone was trying to hit on me, I would definitely say I'm poly, and they would probably walk away because they are in it for the sexual means and I'm in it for the mental relationship. I want to love you, and they don't want that. So that's a no-go. So that's not for us. We're not going to mash. But if you're poly lifestylers, if you're a poly person who likes to have multiple relationships, but some of them are meaningful and some of them are not, you may do that.
Okay. So now, so Italian style, it says all the other stuff is BS. I don't, man, listen, Shout out to Italian Stallion, man. Thank you for being here, brother. You know, I just kind of going back into that situation that where you have mentioned, like, I guess people ask you about your current partners, and how many partners do you currently have at the moment?
I have two long-term partners, and I am dating. So I'm dating.
Gotcha. Okay, now when they ask, and you said that, like, when they ask you, are either of these men bisexual, and you tell them no, and they say, like, they get surprised. So now, when they came into this, and I know you can't speak for them, but when they came into this, was there, I guess, growing pains with people having to ask them about their orientation?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I think that's a struggle that obviously I can only understand to some extent, because obviously as a Black male, telling everyone that your girlfriend has a boyfriend, that could be a lot. And so taking on that and being called, the G word, quite
part of the alphabet, part of the alphabet community,
quite a bit, can be very, very frustrating for them. I'm very sure of it. Heard some horrible things be said sometimes. And it just irritates them. It usually only comes up though from women who try to hit on them, and they try to be honest about what's going on, and that ends up being the reaction when they say, "Oh, no, I'm okay with what I'm doing, but we could talk." And that's what happened. I think that actually was one of the reasons, not in full, but one of the reasons that my partners tend to not like to talk to other women,